7 favorite features in Ibispaint. The first one is the reference window. But before we move on, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you guys. Hope you guys have a great holiday, and I wanted this video to be up before the New Year, so hopefully I'm not late, fingers crossed. However, sorry if this video is a bit rushed. I told my editor to take a break for the holiday. If you like the cat memes on my video, you should thank my editor. She is the cat meme goddess. Alright, the first one is the reference window. You can find it in the toggle inside the gray circle and it will show up. You can resize it however you want, and on the first click, it will show the exact copy of your canvas. This can be used to check your overall painting because that is very important. Sometimes we hyper focus on adding details and then boom, the whole painting's crooked. To add reference pictures, click on the camera icon. I already have some references piled up, but if there's nothing there, there will be a button to add images. To add more or remove a reference, click on the 3 dots. And you can also move the window wherever you like. As you might have noticed, I have 2 reference pictures. One's facing left and one facing right, because I will flip the canvas from time to time, so it will be easier to have 2 references. Next is clipping mask, which is the crooked arrow here. Clipping mask is to clip a layer to the one below it, so the color doesn't bleed everywhere. This is what happened without the clipping mask. All drawing apps have clipping mask, but in Ibispaint, you can clip onto a group, so you don't have to merge the group before clipping a layer to it, which is easier for fixing mistakes or adding more things. And I think it's really great for the concepting phase, like when you're trying to test if the lighting makes sense or the colors are working together, things like that. Not all drawing apps can clip a layer into a group. I tried in Procreate and it can't do that. It has a mask, but this is a different mask. Now we're moving on to the blending modes or layer modes. But good heavens, they look so creepy here. I'm so sorry, it's all my fault. Let's put a little sunglasses on him and maybe a mustache. He looks good with a mustache. To see blending modes, click on the layer and click on the normal box to see all the modes. Each blending mode has a different effect and it's a great tool to enhance your painting. For example, use multiply to add darker and saturated color, and use add to apply strong highlights with a glow effect. I know this isn't a unique, peculiar feature or anything because every drawing app has them, but what I like about Ibispaint is that they categorize the blending modes according to their effects, like darken, lighten, contrast, difference, and color. So when you're like, oh, I need to add more shadows, then just pick something from the darken category. Or you wanna add highlights, then you go to the lighten category. By the way, I made a membership video on blending modes. I showed what each mode does, which ones I use the most, and how to use them to enhance your painting's visual. Starting from only 99 cents, or go for the $2.99 to access work in progress, spicy drawings, and members only live stream. Last time we drew together on magma.com. It was very fun. Become a member if you like, but as always, no pressure. This is a no-pressure situation. Still on the layer feature, next to the blending modes is the screen tone, where they have a variety of patterns. Screen tone is usually found in manga, for shadows, patterns on the clothes, even as backgrounds. In Ibispaint, it's very easy to use. Pick a pattern you like, pick a color, don't use something too dark, and just apply it. With airbrush, you can make gradients and blush. Actually, you know what? You can use any color you like because it will turn into grayscale anyway. The screen tone just focuses on the color's value or how dark it is. Clip Studio Paint also has screen tone, but Ibispaint is free, so that's even better. By the way, yes, I mostly glaze Ibispaint in this video, but this is not a sponsored video, okay? I've used Ibispaint for a few years now and I really enjoy it. There are definitely things to improve, but in this video, let's just focus on the features that I think are really good for a free drawing app. This next one is kinda... well, it's not a feature. It's a brush. I've made a video about best brush in Ibispaint, but this one is different. This is a chain brush. No. Okay, stay with me, okay? Usually, default chain brushes suck, and you have to look for custom brushes for cool looking chains. But Ibispaint's chain brushes are not that bad. The chain looks a bit 3D, which fits my painting style, and then just add shadows and highlights with the blending modes. Again, I know this isn't technically a feature, but I just really like Ibispaint's chain brushes. Okay, let's move on. As you guys know, Ibispaint has Liquify, which is great because some free drawing apps either don't have Liquify or you have to pay for it. And I love that they also have Shrink and Expand, which I use a lot to resize some parts in my drawing quickly. But the Liquify is kinda wonky. The first time I used Ibispaint, I really don't like the Liquify because it's a bit hard to control, so it makes my drawings all squiggly. You can adjust the strength in the setting, by the way, but I'm too lazy to do that. Procreate has more features in their Liquify, like twirl right, twirl left, crystals, edge, but I never use any of them. So push, pinch, expand, which Ibispaint also has, are enough for me. Procreate's Liquify is more stable and easier to control in my opinion. It's kinda heavier, I think. I don't know how to describe it. It's stable, okay? I don't know why I try to elaborate. For example, I liquify the eyes a lot, and in Procreate, it doesn't mess with the fringe. But in Ibispaint, the fringe becomes squiggly if I'm not careful. But again, a free app having free liquify, still pretty good. Next is ruler. Now I don't use the symmetry ruler, I just use the regular ruler. A lot of R's in that sentence. I usually use it for the backgrounds, and this is the straight ruler, and you can rotate the red rectangle to change the direction of the lines. I like to use the circle for backgrounds. It's simple, it's easy, and it draws the viewer's attention to the character. The radial ruler is also good for additional elements or to make the comic effect. I like to combine it with a circle to make a holy light or whatever. Also, before you're making jabs, yes, my background is shit, okay? I cannot draw backgrounds for the life of me. The last one is my favoritest favorite. Yes, that is a word. Filters. There are 84 of them, holy shit, but I don't use all of them. Obviously. Some of them are premium only, like the tone curve. Jesus. Yeah, sometimes Ibispaint adjusts the filters automatically. I don't know why. You can use the brightness and contrast instead of tone curve. The adjustment is a bit restricted compared to the tone curve, of course, but it works well. I also like to use hue and saturation and color balance to adjust the colors. And before we move on to the next filter, let's duplicate the layer and clip it, because I'm going to apply a gradation map on it. I've talked about this countless times, so you know what it does. If you're F2P, free to paint, you can use parallel gradation instead. You can adjust the wavelength, and it has multiple gradients just like gradation map, but it doesn't affect the contrast like gradation map does. Oh, and this one is really cool. If you ever want to draw someone crying, just draw a bunch of black tears and use the water drop filter. Boom. Instant tears. You can also adjust the setting so it looks more natural. You can even adjust the light source. And that concludes my 7 favorite features in Ibispaint. Try them out and let me know what you think. By the way, let me know your favorite Ibispaint features in the comments. Sorry if this video is a bit rushed. I just want to get it out before the New Year's. Thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And I will see you, well, next year. Bye!